Hello, my friends. This is Chucky from Collecting for Fun, and today we are going to be looking at this Back to the Future week, another classic poster from the Back to the Future franchise. This is from Back to the Future number two, okay? And so we have a cool poster. You have Doc and Marty now. In the original poster, we just had Marty on it. And to keep up with that trend, now we have Doc and Marty on the cover there. And this is Back to the Future 2. An interesting story that Bob Gale told in his panel, and you can definitely check out the panel on our channel there because we do have that video posted. And he was talking about how he originally did not want to do a Back to the Future uh, sequel. Back to the Future was pretty much a one and done, and both him and Robert Zemeckis, or he calls him Bob, thought they were done. But this because Back to the Future did so well, they asked them, we want to do a sequel. And originally they said no. And the only reason they did it is because we're going to go ahead with the movie anyways. So whether you're on board or not. So they said, okay, if they're going to do the movie, then we might as well do it together. And they were throwing out ideas originally, and they wanted to go to the Wild West. They wanted to do the go into the future. And there's other things they want to do as well. But they decided, it was just going to be too much to put into one movie. And so they ended up saying, hey, let's split it into two movies, because they're trying to figure out the production budget because they wanted to give them a certain amount of budget. And they said, okay, how about this? We'll compromise. We'll do two movies. So you get two movies out of this, and then we'll do the budget for, I think it ended up being maybe a little bit more than what they were initially given. And so the studio said yes, and they said, and we're going to get the second movie, the second sequel done in like 6 months or something, which they didn't think was even possible, but they managed to do it because they shot them back to back. So here is Back to the Future 2. Okay, there is Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future 2, a Robert Zemeckis film, and it says Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, the two mains. Getting Back was only the beginning, and this is a classic poster from the second movie. And so let's have a look. So there's Steven Spielberg's autograph again, right next to Christopher Lloyd's head. I love the artist that does these poster renditions. He's very famous and he does a lot of these posters. And I think I got to meet him years and years ago. Very nice guy. I don't know if he's still around, but yeah, amazing artist, amazing artist. Anyways, here's Huey Lewis's autograph, and again, he was instrumental in the first movie with Power of Love, and of course, the movie has a callback in all the three movies to some extent. So, Huey Lewis signed this one. We have Marc McClure, and he wrote down DMC for the DeLorean Motor Company. Don't know why he wrote that, but he did. Marc McClure plays Marty's brother, Dave, I believe his name was. And he was also Jimmy Olsen in the Superman franchise, the original one, with Christopher Reeve. So that's a fun factoid, which I didn't know until I researched it. Okay. And Christopher Lloyd signs right below it, and he signs with an inscription, Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. And there's Christopher Lloyd and Doc underneath there. Classic autograph there. And then let's move back a little bit. We got Marty right there, Michael J. Fox's autograph right over Michael J. Fox's and Marty's McFly's crotch area. So there we go. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything up there. Yeah, okay, we got the main ones there. And so below, let's see, what's right below Marty? And it said, Butts Up, I think. That's what it says. Tom Wilson and plays Biff, the antagonist of the whole franchise. And he plays, all of them get to play two versions of themselves in this movie. Now, Christopher Lloyd in the first movie played two versions of himself. He played young Christopher Doc and old Doc. And in this movie, Tom Wilson also, he again in the original movie he plays young Biff and old Biff, or like present day Biff. In this movie, I believe he plays all three because he goes back in time to talk to himself. So he plays young Biff back in the 50s, back in 55 or whatever year it was. He plays present day Biff during the present day in the 80s, 85, 84 area, or 85, I believe it was. And then he plays like really old Biff in the in the future. So that's a lot of range for these actors. We have here it is. Wait a minute, don't I know you from somewhere? And that is, I believe that's Leah Thompson, Lorraine Baines. That makes sense. And so she again plays stretches her acting chops there because she plays present day mom. I believe she actually shows up as that. Does she? Anyways, but she definitely shows up as future mom for Marty. And so there's that. We got Robert Zemeckis, the autograph right there. Of course, the director of all three of the movies there. We have Billy Zane, who has a very minor role in the movie. And I believe, my friends, that is all the autographs on this poster. So yeah, a lot of the same autographs, pretty much most of the same autographs we had on the original poster, except for no Jennifer Wells because she wasn't in this movie. And she was replaced by another famous actress. Yes, she was replaced by another famous actress, Elizabeth Shue, who made her name in the Karate Kid movies. So she decided to take on the role when Jennifer was not, sorry, when Claudia Wells was no longer able to play Jennifer because of, I think her mom was going through cancer treatment at the time. And so she opted out of returning, and they recast her as Elizabeth Shue, who was just coming off Karate Kid and I guess looking to do something minor while she was, I think, going to school at the time. So that's a pretty good tidbit there. And so there you go, folks. This is a classic Back to the Future poster. I hope you enjoyed having a look at this really cool poster with some really cool autographs on there. And with the first one and the second, this poster, I don't know what the value of the poster is. I'd imagine it'll only increase in time. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if it valued about $2,000 just because of the autographs on there and the size of the poster. This is a 24 by 36 poster. Very hard to get autographs, but yeah, it's a really cool poster. I'm glad to share it with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And this is Back to the Future week, so we got we got a couple more things coming up. We got one more poster that we're going to be showing you this week. Of course, what do you think is going to be? It's probably going to be the third movie poster. So we'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye.